You ever start an anime, finish the first episode, and just sit there like, yeah, no, this is not it. No hype, no tension, no emotional pull. Just vibes that scream, bro, why am I watching this? And the worst part, you know everyone online loves it. People calling it a masterpiece, people saying it changed my life, people ranking it in their top 10 like it personally paid their rent. And you're like, did we watch the same first episode? Yeah, this video is for that feeling. Because some anime are built different. They don't spoon-feed you excitement, they don't throw explosions, fights, or dramatic music at you in episode 1. Instead, they say, relax, sit down, trust me. And that's dangerous because anime fans have zero patience. We live in the era of instant hype, instant payoff, instant is it worth watching. So when an anime starts slow, confusing, or quiet, most people drop it immediately. And that's how you miss out on something special. So today, we're counting down 10 anime you should never judge by the first episode. Trust me, some of these test your patience, but if you stick around, they absolutely destroy you in the best way possible. Here are 10 anime you should never judge by the first episode. Number 10, Serial Experiments Lain. Psychological, sci-fi, experimental, and existential. Alright, let's be honest. If you watched the first episode of Serial Experiments Lain and thought, I have no idea what just happened. Congratulations, you watched it correctly. Episode 1 doesn't explain anything. It doesn't hold your hand. It barely even talks to you. It just throws you into this quiet, unsettling atmosphere where everything feels off. Long pauses, awkward silence, people talking like they know something you don't, and your brain is screaming, am I supposed to understand this? Here's the thing, you're not. Lain isn't about immediate clarity. It's about confusion, identity, and slowly realizing the world is not what you think it is. The first episode feels boring if you expect action, but if you lean into the discomfort, the anime slowly crawls under your skin. By the time it clicks, you're questioning reality, the internet, yourself, and why anime from the 90s predicted modern society better than we did. This is not an anime you watch, it's an anime you experience. And yeah, judging it by episode 1 is the fastest way to completely miss the point. Number 9, Kaiba. Sci-fi, romance, surreal, and emotional. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. Kaiba looks like a kid's cartoon. Big heads, simple art, soft colors. You see episode 1 and think, oh, this is gonna be light and cute. Yeah, no. That art style is lying to you, because underneath that adorable exterior is a story about memory, bodies being swapped, love surviving across lifetimes, and how messed up society can be when technology goes too far. The first episode feels slow and strange, almost too gentle. But once the themes start unfolding, you realize, oh, this anime is emotionally dangerous. Kaiba doesn't rush, it lets ideas breathe, it lets moments sit in silence, and suddenly you're invested in characters you didn't expect to care about, in a world that looks harmless but is deeply tragic. This is one of those anime where the art style filters the audience. If you judge it by episode 1, you miss out on something quietly powerful. Number 8, the Tatami Galaxy. Psychological, comedy, romance, and existential. Alright, let me be real with you. The first episode of the Tatami Galaxy feels like the anime is speed-running dialogue. Characters talk faster than your brain can process. Subtitles are flying. Scenes change instantly. And you're just sitting there like, bro, slow down. I'm still on sentence 1. It's overwhelming. It's confusing. And honestly, a lot of people drop it immediately because of that. But here's the thing. That chaos is intentional. The entire anime is about regret, choices, and the endless what-ifs of life. Every episode shows a different version of the same college experience. Same guy, same opportunities, different decisions. At first, it feels repetitive and exhausting, but then it clicks. And suddenly, you realize this anime isn't about plot. It's about you, your bad decisions, your missed chances, that one moment you keep replaying in your head at 3 a.m. By the end, the Tatami Galaxy goes from "what am I watching" to "why does this feel so personal?" Judging this anime by episode 1 is like quitting a book because the first page didn't emotionally ruin you yet.
別に死んでもいいし。
死ぬのが怖くないのか?
Number 7, Odd Taxi. Mystery, psychological, crime, and dialogue driven. Okay, be honest. When you saw Odd Taxi, you probably thought, why are everyone an animal? And then episode 1 starts and it's just people talking in a taxi about random stuff. No action, no big mystery yet, no flashy animation, just conversations. And if you're not paying attention, it feels boring. But that's the trap, because every single conversation matters. Every throwaway line, every awkward pause, every weird comment. Odd Taxi is one of those anime that rewards attention like crazy. The first episode feels chill and uneventful, but slowly, threads start connecting. Characters you thought were irrelevant suddenly matter. Small details become massive plot points. And by the time the mystery fully reveals itself, you're sitting there like, wait, they planned this from the start? This is one of the cleanest, smartest mystery anime out there. But if you judge it by the first episode's calm tone, you'll never see the payoff. Number 6, Maid in Abyss. Adventure, fantasy, dark, and emotional. Ah yes, Maid in Abyss. The anime that tricks you more than almost anything else on this list. Episode 1 looks adorable. Cute characters, soft music, wholesome adventure vibes. You're thinking, nice, a chill fantasy anime. Yeah, no. The first episode is basically bait, because Maid in Abyss is not cute. It is cruel. As the story goes deeper, literally, the tone shifts hard. Pain, loss, body horror, existential dread. And the scariest part is, it doesn't rely on cheap shock. It builds atmosphere slowly, so when things get dark, it hurts more. The first episode doesn't prepare you for what's coming at all. It can't. And that's why judging this anime by episode 1 is a huge mistake. You think you're signing up for an adventure, you're actually signing up for emotional trauma.
なんだこりゃ。
Number 5, Mushishi. Supernatural, slice of life, atmospheric, and philosophical. Let me be honest. If you go into Mushishi expecting fights, plot twists, or hype moments, you're gonna be bored. The first episode is quiet, calm, almost too peaceful. Minimal music, slow pacing, a guy just walking around helping people. And a lot of people watch episode 1 and think, that's it, nothing happened. But that is the point. Mushishi is one of those anime you don't binge, you sink into it. Each episode feels like a short story, something gentle, mysterious, and slightly sad. It's about nature, humanity, and problems that don't have easy answers. Sometimes there isn't even a happy ending. The first episode doesn't hook you with excitement, it asks you to slow down. And once you accept that rhythm, Mushishi becomes incredibly comforting and surprisingly deep. Judging this anime by episode 1 is like judging a campfire by how loud it is.
頑張って生きるんだぞ。
Number 4, Monster. Psychological, thriller, crime, and moral drama. Okay, this one hurts a lot of people because Monster's first episode is good but not flashy. No crazy action, no instant villain monologue, just a doctor making a difficult decision. And you're sitting there thinking, this is well written, but is it really worth 70 plus episodes? Yes, it is. Monster is a slow, methodical psychological thriller. The first episode is laying foundations, morality, responsibility, consequences. It's not trying to shock you yet, but once Johan shows up properly, yeah, it's over. Monster becomes a masterclass in tension, character writing, and atmosphere. It's the kind of anime that respects your intelligence. Judging Monster by episode 1 is like walking out of a movie before the villain even enters the room. Number 3, Clannad After Story. Romance, drama, emotional, and life-changing. Okay, let's get this out of the way. Yes, Clannad looks boring at first. High school setting, big eyes, soft music, slice of life vibes. You watch episode 1 and think, Oh, this is gonna be one of those anime. And honestly, early Clannad is slow. A lot of talking, a lot of daily life, a lot of why is this so normal? But here's the trick. Clannad is a setup anime. The first season is planting emotional landmines you don't even notice. Then, after story happens. And suddenly, relationships feel real. Happiness feels fragile. And life hits way harder than you expected from an anime with this art style. This is not an anime about school. It's about growing up, loss, and realizing life doesn't pause for you. Judging Clannad by its first episode is like skipping the childhood chapter of someone's life and wondering why their adulthood hurts so much. Number 2. Gintama. Comedy, action, parody, and emotional chaos. Ah yes, Gintama. The anime everyone loves, but nobody warns you about the beginning. Because let's be real, the first few episodes are rough if you don't know what's going on. Too many characters, random jokes, parodies you might not even get yet. You're sitting there like, why is everyone laughing? Here's the thing. Gintama doesn't start strong. It builds familiarity. Once you get to know the characters, the jokes hit harder. Once you care about them, the serious arcs hit even harder. And that's the dangerous part, because Gintama will go from stupid toilet humor to some of the most emotional, well-written arcs in anime. No warning, no mercy. Judging Gintama by episode 1 means missing one of the most versatile anime ever made. Comedy, action, parody, tragedy, it does everything. Number 1, Steins Gate sci-fi, thriller, psychological, and emotional. Alright, let's talk about the king of this list. Steins Gate. The first episode feels weird. Slow pacing, random conversations, a guy acting insane for no reason. And a lot of people think, why is this rated so high? Because episode 1 is lying to you. Steins Gate takes its time introducing characters, tone, and normal life, so it can completely destroy that normalcy later. Once the story turns, every joke hurts, every casual moment matters, every choice has consequences. The anime goes from goofy time travel fun to psychological suffering real quick. And suddenly you understand why everyone says, just give it a few episodes. Judging Steins Gate by episode 1 is the biggest mistake you can make as an anime fan, because once it hooks you, it never lets go. Final thoughts. So yeah, if there's one thing this list proves, it's this. Not every anime is meant to impress you immediately. Some anime don't scream for your attention. They whisper. And if you're patient enough to listen, they give you stories that stick with you for years. So the next time you're about to drop an anime after episode 1, maybe give it one more chance. You might just find your next favorite. And hey, if this video saved even one anime from being unfairly dropped, I'll take that as a win. If you enjoyed this, you know the drill. Like the video, subscribe if you're into anime content like this, and let me know in the comments, which anime did you almost drop too early? I'll see you in the next one.